What you doing? I'm your Otakutainment, theacstories with this Otakutainment reviews. I am talking about the brand new series Astro Royale or Nagai no Asutoro by Ken Wakui, very famously known for Tokyo Revengers as well as plenty others, Shinjuku Swan, Sekisai Inko, Desert Eagle, and Abaddon. Really, just looking at all these, very common gang theme and all, I guess Ken Wakui just has a thing. Anyways, the translation is by Andrea McKnight with lettering by F.E. Colton. This is Chapter 1, Hibaru Yotsurugi, which came out on Weekly Shonen Jump and therefore Manga Plus on April 14, 2024, and it's 59 pages, which is a little bit longer than normal for a first chapter in Weekly Shonen Jump. So here's the description. As the battle to decide the next leader of the Yotsurugi gang that runs Asakusa is heating up, a meteorite strike suddenly awakens superpowers in the people of Japan. How will Hibaru Yotsurugi, the son of the previous gang leader, come out of this? Now this is a pretty decent description. It really doesn't tell you too much. Like, yeah, it tells you, there's going to be this succession battle, kind of. And with powers, you can now assume there's going to be physical battles. But I like the tension of this is going to be without it being physical. It's more the mind and psychological part of it, the more deceptive and deceiving part. But then now they're superpowers, so I guess things are going to get a lot more physical with it. The description doesn't give too much, and really this first chapter doesn't give too much. It's overall just you're meeting the family, because even though Hibaru Yotsurugi is the biological son, there's a lot of other adopted sons that we meet along the way. The first thing I'm going to point out with this is the art, which I feel like I fail to do a lot of times, but this has a very unique kind of colorfulness that, one, we don't associate with gangs, or at least I don't. And then it's also just too bad that we probably won't be seeing a lot of this, since most of these are going to be in black and white, like typical. But it would be nice if we got some of these colors just like sprinkled in, but unless there's like special color pages, probably not going to see too much of this. On to the breakdown of the story. We meet our main protagonist, Hibaru, who, like I said, is the only biological son of the boss. And because we know this is supposed to be like a gang, we see Hibaru trying to seem and look tough and collecting protection money from Gramps, but actually just shopping, buys what looks like a piece of gun for like 10 yen. And this is brought up by Terasu Yotsurugi, the 12th adopted son, and who I assume at this point is the youngest, because we don't see anyone else further down than this. And Terasu seems like the more responsible one, seems to be close to Hibaru, because going to the funeral, they run into Ko Yotsurugi, the 11th adopted son, and this just also seems about their age, but just seems like the kind of pathetic bully type that has lackeys that make him seem more tough, but probably actually isn't, but will probably be an annoying antagonist of some sort going on. Then once we get to the funeral, we see Shio Yotsurugi, the first adopted son, and also the underboss, and has support from the largest faction of the gang, the Hawk faction. And everyone's speculating if Hibaru's going to actually challenge Shio to be successor, but this whole time we never really see Shio do anything, just people more talking about, and we don't see anything from the factions either, because Hibaru goes up to make the announcement of what the last leader's last words were and who's going to be the successor, and it's neither Hibaru or Shio, it's actually Terasu. It's a big surprise to everyone, no doubt, and everyone is pissed about it. Everyone's furious because it's kind of out of nowhere, especially if Terasu's the youngest. But after this, we get a flashback, big old flashback, where really most of the story takes place. It's pretty much just how their dad, Kongo Yotsurugi, nice and young, we get to see Hibaru as a little kid. Kongo was this nice and good gang leader. It's one of those good gangs, like protects people and stuff like that. But then the gang becomes more legitimate as a business, as an organization, not so much as a gang. But the older sons seems more corrupted, have their own agenda. I don't want to say they are intentionally wanting to be bad, because we don't see anything about that, but they definitely are probably going to take a lot greedier route. Hibaru is actually the one named Kongo's successor. It was all a lie because he wants to be an actual Yakuza that doesn't break laws. I don't know what the difference is. I guess it's to go back to when the original boss was more gang-like, not official business. There's not a whole lot of depth into what this actual business is, so you don't really know. It could just still be a gang, but really recognized. We come out of the flashback to Terasu and Hibaru bathing, and then there's all the excitement of, oh, the meteors are finally coming, so they all run outside, and they finally hit. A lot of destruction. Everyone's kind of just watching and is like, huh, that's kind of close. Oh, and it crashes, and explosion everywhere. Terasu pushes Hibaru out of the way of a falling building. Of course, gets trapped under it, and there's like a weird scene where we see Hibaru get the wish granted and gets given this power of Astro. It's weird, kind of out of nowhere. I don't feel like it was a great transition into it. The whole thing was weird, and it's like, is there a voice talking, and are these alien rocks giving people? Maybe this is all a mystery for later, because it could be, but it's just something. It just stuck out in a weird way. It just didn't feel like it fit, and maybe it's not supposed to. I don't know. Maybe just like the coloring in the beginning. Who knows? But now with the power of Astro, where that's going to be, Hibaru tries punching the building off. Terasu breaks the hand, it looks like, but then remembers, like back in the flashback of their dad talking about how the arm is like a bullet and just focus it in different ways, and there's kind of a scene of it, and it's not too flashy. It feels kind of empty too. I don't know if this kind of superhero magic, if it's magic, kind of action scenes are really going to fit, or is really Ken Wakui's forte. It seems like more of the just human kind of, just regular human kind of fights would fit better, but you gotta mix up somehow, I guess. But yeah, Hibaru's able to literally punch the whole building just off, not even break the building or anything, or punch a hole through it, punch the entire building just away, and save Terasu, which I'm a little disappointed in too, because it would have been very nice, dramatic, not nice, it wouldn't have been nice at all, it would have been very dramatic and like inspirational, I guess. It would give Hibaru motivation to be the next successor if something happened to Terasu. Terasu's perfectly fine. Saved, absolutely no reaction to how Hibaru looks, but does see the city is destroyed and is like, wow, and then Hibaru passes out. Then we end with the spread of just a bunch of people realizing they all have powers now, and it's pretty much like the world's never going to be the same, bad things are going to happen, and yeah, probably is. And like I said in the beginning, now there's this whole succession battle. What we thought would just be between Shio and Hibaru, now I feel like there's going to be a lot more players coming up because they all have powers now. I feel like it's going to be cool. I just feel like, because I do like the spread of seeing everyone cool, and that's a cool feeling. It's just something about how Hibaru gets a power and how it's used right away. It's just kind of cheesy. It feels kind of forced. Like, we had to get to this point, and we had to find a way to do it, and this is kind of all we could do for now. But I feel like going on from here, it'll be kind of cool. I feel like just as I get older, I don't care that much about action as much as story. So I hope it's not too like action powery. I hope they're used more sparingly, and when needed, it's not just, oh, here's another fight scene just to deal with somebody, and here's another fight scene with powers just to show that off. I hope it's more clever than that, which I feel like it can be. Just seeing, Tokyo Revengers, like, it's not super actiony, so I'm hoping for the best for that. And they're kind of dark too, so I'm hoping, even though Terasu didn't die, which would have made for an interesting scene, there's still hope for it. This is just the beginning. Lastly, of course, I'm going to talk about the title, which is almost cool. Now, I think this is kind of the problem overall, is Astro, as a term that's used in stuff like this, just feels overused. I can't even tell how overused it is. Of course, I'll think of Astro Boy first, but I feel like I see Astro a lot. And it just seems kind of cheesy now. The Royale part is cool. You know, just suggesting this succession battle. Kind of hard to say. And that's interesting, but Royale's also overused. I don't know what the problem with Astro is to me. Now, the Japanese name for it, Nagai no Asutoro, a lot more straightforward when it means something like wish Astro, which makes sense because Hibaru made a wish and got Astro. And it's like, oh, okay. So at least Astro Royale kind of sounds a little cooler than that. I don't know, maybe Nagai no Asutoro sounds cool in Japanese too to Japanese native speakers. Now this chapter title, it's just the main protagonist's name. It's done commonly enough, so it's not a big deal. Not much to talk about it with that. Overall, I think this is going to be an interesting manga. Now, it's hard to see where it's going to go. There's been a whole lot of Yakuza gang series from Wakui, so I don't know exactly how this is going to go. Some of them have been pretty short. I feel like this might be pretty short. It might be kind of cool. It's hard to say because I've come to realize my taste isn't what everyone's going to want. But I hope it does well because, you know, I just want to see series succeed at all. I get tired of seeing canceled series, but I'm still interested in seeing how this kind of story is going to play out. I get so much Tokyo Revengers from this, especially in the art and the characters. So I feel like it's just going to be kind of Tokyo Revengers, a little bit more mature and with superpowers. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to see. But let me know what you think. If you're looking forward to see how this is going to, if you're just not into it at all. Who knows? I feel like this might be a real big mixed batch. There's a lot to live up to, so yeah, let's talk about it. You can leave a comment. You can find me on social media, The AC Stories. You can email me at theacstories@gmail.com or join my Discord when we talk about this and other stuff there. I also have a Ko-fi if you want to help support me there. I'd like to thank my supporters, Vix Lab and Julio Vasquez. If you do want to help support me, that's nice. You don't have to, but it's greatly appreciated. Links for everything will be in the description, but that's it for this Otakutainment reviews. If you liked it, give it a like. If you want to stay up to date with it, go ahead and subscribe. But I've been your Otakutainer, The AC Stories. Until next time, thank you so much, and bye.